Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Sunday, it's August 21st, and welcome to Sunday. Hope you've got something great planned. I just got back from Italy. I was down in what's called the Italian Riviera around Cinque Terre and in a beautiful place yesterday called Positano. Positano is just a gorgeous spot. It's a port town, so there were all kinds of boats in the harbor and little cafes, outdoor places to have coffee and just people watch. It was really fascinating. I had a great time. And I took the train back last night to Zurich, and it was a wonderful train journey. The mountains are just so spectacular in Switzerland, and it was raining and misty, so it was quite atmospheric. But I'm home in my little place, and glad to be back with you guys this morning from my living room rather than from an outdoor park. It was it was a lot of fun presenting to you from there, though. I had a great time. So hopefully you had a good week as well. And so welcome to almost a new one. Let me go through with you a few things. First of all, my tea. It was so nice to come home to my Darjeeling. So I've got my Darjeeling tea today, which I love, and hope that you're having a cup of tea and getting settled. And I'll go through some of the news stories that have struck my interest this today, and also share a couple of feel-good stories as well. So first of all, I've been thinking a lot lately about the Olympics. We've reported on it almost every day, and just how not just amazing performances by the athletes, but how some of the principles of how they work together can be really applied to all areas of our life. You know, in terms of just going for our dream and working really hard, having discipline and so on. That's something, of course, that we can all apply to our exercise programs, to just our thinking about our perspective on life. But one thing that came in an article yesterday, it was actually retweeted by Melinda Gates on her Facebook page. It was about this idea of shine theory. And this idea of shine theory was actually introduced a few years ago, but she applied it to the Olympics. And it's basically where women don't shine unless everyone's shining. You know, so that, we actually, in our efforts to be good and to meet our potential and maximize our skills and talents, we still need to encourage each other. And that basically, if everyone else doesn't shine, we don't shine either. So that's the shine theory. And a perfect example of this was the amazing gymnast Simone Biles, who wrote on her Twitter page something like, I had to compete with my colleagues or other women from around the world. And she said, compete with, not compete against. And this is the idea that, you just do your best, you're standing side by side, but you want everyone to succeed as well. So that's my wish really for you today as well, is that in 60 and Me, we really do have a philosophy that we're in this journey together. We're on the road in our 60s, trying new things, dealing with new emotions, new physical changes, emotional shifts, relationship changes. And, unless we all shine together, we're missing an opportunity. So I wish the best for all of you. And let's just use our combined strength and our combined unity to give each other encouragement. And the way you can do this is by joining these conversations. Just say a few words in the comment section below. Look out for people that maybe are having a challenging day. Give them a hug, and use this Mornings with 60 and Me as a chance to help us all shine. So that's my wish for the day. And in the Olympics, by the way, Mo Farah, who's another amazing runner, he won the 5,000 and 10,000 race, and he's now the double-double, which he's won the same races twice in consecutive Olympics. And by the way, if you're curious the difference between Mo Farah, who is the gold medal winner from Great Britain for running, and Usain Bolt, who also won the triple, which is 3 races in consecutive Olympics and gold medals. Basically, Mo Farah is a distance runner. He runs long distances, and Usain Bolt is a sprinter. He runs short distances very, very fast. So I was reading a fun article this morning about how they should have a race, who wins. But Mo Farah did great for Britain, and Usain Bolt obviously for Jamaica. So congratulations to them. Now, let's go back to some news in the rest of the world. In Turkey. Turkey yesterday, there was a very sad bombing at a wedding. Honestly, these things just keep on going, and this is in a town about 60 miles north of Aleppo, which is we've been reporting about in Syria. And it's always interesting to me to remind ourselves how close these cities are together. You know, Syria, Turkey, they're all very close. So they have a vested interest in each other's politics and business. And this one yesterday, this attack at a wedding, no one's attributed responsibility yet. But, 30 people were killed and over 100 were injured. Just such a cruel, cruel world that sometimes we have to report on. And I just feel it's important, like I have said before, to let you know what's going on and for us to be thankful. Related to Aleppo, I wanted to give you an update on little Osman. Now, we all saw the pictures and we've all shed tears, and it's very, very sad. But the news this morning is that his older brother, who is 10 years old, didn't make it. He died, and in that same attack. So, there's nothing really more to say. These just go on every day, and our hearts go out to everyone affected. And I just hope that we can find a way to create peace in that part of the world. Okay, here's a really feel-good story from the States. This just caught my eye because it shows how good people can be and how selfless acts can be rewarded. This is a story about a waiter in a restaurant at Applebee's in Dallas, Texas. He's 32 years old and he was just going about doing his job. Lady came in, ordered a drink, the cheapest thing on the menu, which is fruit-flavored water, 37 cents. She ordered it, and then when she paid, she left $500.37 for this waiter. And she left a note saying that she had seen him earlier in the day at a grocery store helping her mom. Her mom was living through the 3rd year anniversary of her husband's death. Very disoriented, very sad, and she got to the till, couldn't pay for her groceries, forgot her money. So this gentleman, Casey Simmons, paid for her groceries, $17. Wasn't a lot, but for him, he saw she needed help. Her daughter was watching and went back to the restaurant where he worked and gave him this $500 tip. I just thought that was a lovely story for 2 reasons. One is that the girl remained anonymous. She didn't want anyone to know her mom's name or anything about why she'd given him the money, and also that he just did such a cool thing. And I'm sure we've all done things like this in our lives where we, just think someone needs our help. So that was kind of cool. Now, another story I just want to share with you is another area where a lot of us need help. And that is getting sleep. Actually, I have to be honest, last night I didn't sleep very well, and I think it was because I was back in my familiar situation, but after being on the train and traveling, I just wasn't sleeping well. So I did try one of these things, and I'll tell you which one it was. Here's some ideas. Now, I interviewed a doctor, Dr. Medina, who's a neuroscientist, about a couple of years ago, and he said to me that good sleep was honestly one of the number one positive things we can do for healthy aging. And he knows all about the brain. So sleeping is critical. Now, you do find your sleeping habits change as you get older, but here's a couple of things you might try. And this is from an article that we actually wrote some time ago. So just a reminder. First of all, you can try yoga. This is what I did. Now, when I say yoga, it's not so much the asanas, the positions, but it was the breathing. I tried some yoga breathing and just stretching, and it really did relax me. So that was helpful. Yoga is one thing to try. Meditation in its more sort of direct form is a really good way to deal with insomnia. It kind of stops your mind going in that loop. If you stop you keep your practice going, acknowledging thoughts and moving on. Just don't let them loop you in. The third thing is basically drinks, trying a drink. I did have my Earl Grey tea, and it helped a little bit, but I should have tried probably chamomile or cherry, because those are 2 drinks that help with insomnia. The other thing, this is one of my favorites, is listening to an audiobook. Now, I listen to a lot of books on tape, but if you put your headphones on as you're going to sleep, I guarantee you'll fall asleep, at least I do, before you're finished the chapter. And of course, in the morning, you have to kind of rewind your tape because it's gone on for 10 chapters. But just make a note of where you started. Audio tapes, for some reason, soothe me and put me to sleep. So that's another thing to try. Another yoga-related idea is what's called Shavasana in yoga. And this is where kind of you do a progressive muscle relaxation. And the idea is you start with your toes, you kind of you clench them and then relax them. Your legs, stomach, chest. And just by doing that pressure, clenching your muscle, then relaxing, you actually really do find yourself nodding off, and it's very soothing to your body. And I guess the final one, which a lot of us do, is use aromatherapy. Spray a little lavender, not too much, but just a little bit of lavender on your pillow, and it does tend to calm you down. So if you're having trouble sleeping, hopefully these ideas gave you some things you might try. Now, oh yes, I must remember this. Yesterday or day before, I mentioned I have a gift. I bought this in a little shop in a place called Monterosa. It's one of the 5 Cinque Terre towns. It was actually a little shop owned by a woman. I went in, she had lots of these bracelets. I'm going to show it to you. Okay, here's the bracelet. Now, on the back, it's got 2 little hooks. So if you've got a small wrist, it will fit. And if you've got a bigger wrist, it will fit too. But these are like little stones, turquoise. I think it's carnelian. They're just beautiful. And it's a really pretty little bracelet. I just love it. What do you think? Now, on the back, which makes it very interesting, is it's got crochet. This is actually crocheted. So the beads are actually stuck onto the crochet. Anyway, I'd like to find a new home for this bracelet. So if you would like this, I'm going to just leave a comment in the section below, and I'll choose someone totally at random and announce the person tomorrow who's going to get to wear this little bracelet this summer. I love it. Okay, cool. So finally, a reminder. Thank you again for being here for Mornings with 60andMe. I love having you here. But if you want to get to know when the news is announced first, please go and register at 60andme.com/mornings, and we'll let you know when the news is available first. Now, today, my funny day recognition. Today is Poets' Day. Hands up any poets in the audience. I know a lot of you do write. So is anyone a poet? Today is Poets' Day, so that means we celebrate the art of poetry and people who make it their passion to write. I have a lot of favorite poets. My favorite poet of all time is T.S. Eliot. And I have a quote that I always remind myself of as I go through life, and I'll just tell you what it is, and then I'd like you to share too. So T.S. Eliot wrote a poem called 4 Quartets. It's a series of poems, actually. And in that, he says the following: "We shall not cease from exploration, and at the end of all our exploring, we'll find ourselves back where we started, but know the place for the first time." I love that quote. It reminds me of so many questions I have about life. Always exploring, but coming back where you started. So that's my favorite quote. So since today is Poets' Day, I would love you to share with me in the section below a favorite quote that you have, or a favorite poet. Your favorite poet or your favorite quote. And we can share each other's notes and just have a conversation. So have a wonderful Sunday, everyone. Hope that you have a great day. And I'll see you all back here tomorrow for Mornings with 60andMe. Take good care, everyone. Bye for now.